Welcome back to Let's Talk Short Track Racing. I've got Jake back with me tonight.
Glad to be back. Glad to see you guys made it back home from Berlin all right. I know not necessarily the night you guys were hoping for as a team, but overall good to have you guys back and lots to talk to. Busy week and then weekend in short track racing, and we'll get to recap it all here and then some, and got a couple of great guests lined up tonight too.
Yeah, it was definitely not the trip to Berlin we were hoping for, but at least the car is in one piece and minimal fixes. Always a good trip to the racetrack.
It's racing in a nutshell. You go from the highest of highs kind of to the lowest of lows, and you just kind of look at a week where it's like, you know what, we're just going to kind of try to take whatever positives we can, like you said, able to roll the car back up on the trailer in one piece. But man, what a great overall, what a great race and a great turnout there at Berlin for the Battle of Berlin 250. Alec and I were deep in previewing that last week, and man, it really lived up to its hype. It was a great finish. It really came down to the wire, and it really cool to see strategy play out in a short track race, which you don't get to see very often. With the way the competition cautions fell and the way drivers were picking and choosing when to take their tires and when not to, and it set up for a great finish.
Yeah, it was definitely a great finish. I was standing on the backstretch there, even after Nick pulled in. I was like, I can't stop watching. I'm here. I have to finish. I can't get the highlights. I have to see it live in person, and it was quite a cool finish, and definitely good for local Austin Hall there.
Yeah. And how about that? You win one race, you win $40,000, and now you're the points leader and the money leader with UARA National with how they do their championships. He's a $40,000 night for him winning that race, which vaulted him to the top of their championship standings. But Michael Atwell looked like for a while there, and I mentioned it. I talked about him a little bit on my social media. At one point, Michael was going a lap down, and then, fast forward another, 50, 60 laps, Michael's challenging for the win and for the lead, and Michael, I thought, was going to possibly fall back a little bit and not necessarily have the tire strategy like he wanted to at the end, and he was able to hold on to a fifth place finish, and with that, he got a pretty good payday out of it. So the gap between he and Austin Hull is not that big. And the next race we've got on the UARA National Tour is at South Alabama Speedway, where Michael Atwell won earlier this year. So it's going to be a good battle over the course of the next three races with UARA National. A little bit of a break for them before they head to South Alabama Speedway next month for the Frank Grill Memorial 112. But you'd had, what a star-studded field that was at Berlin. It was not only all the local drivers that continue to support week in and week out, but you bring in Ty Majeski, you bring in the NASCAR flair with Hocevar and with Eric Jones. Bubba Pollard is there as well. We had our team coming up from Florida there as well. So it was just an awesome mix of drivers and a great stacked field. And a lot of drivers that a lot of people thought would have been contending for the win there had trouble. So I think, while Austin Hull has had a great year there at Berlin, I don't think he was necessarily high on a lot of people's radar to be able to win the Battle of Berlin 250, and that was a huge, huge win for him and his team.
Yeah, especially with them being local, and it shows that you hear a lot of talk about how the local guys are always so good at Berlin, and I think that race really showed, because your top, two or three were all local guys, and a lot of it did fall by strategy, but also the NASCAR guys, the big names that aren't necessarily local or competing there week in and weekend out, they weren't there. They were seemed to be at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, and look what happened with Hocevar. It looked like early on. I mean, here we go again. Carson Hocevar at Berlin. He's going to go out. He's going to potentially dominate this race, and it was a tale of two races. Once they first of all, the most incredible save I think I've seen in quite some time. Kudos to him, battling there with Bubba Pollard and that incredible save. But after that, just seemed like the car was never the same, and he wasn't able to get back up there. and compete for the win. I mean, poor Eric Jones. I mean, they barely got that car out on track before they had issues. So I know it was a very, very quick night for him and for Ty Majeski. Just if maybe strategy would have played out a little differently there at the end, maybe Majeski would have had an opportunity to get up there and battle with. But what a battle there between Austin Hall and Blake Rowe there at the end of that race. That was some awesome racing for those final 20, 25, 30 laps. And I think as a short track fan, that's exactly what you want to see. If you're Jeff Striegel and the folks there at Berlin, that's exactly the kind of race, exactly the kind of drama you want. And from all accounts, from what I've heard from all my friends there and my contacts there with UARA, could not have been a smoother, better show for them. And I hope that the Battle of Berlin 250 is just becoming a mainstay on the UARA schedule.
Yeah, it was definitely good, and it was nice to see good, clean racing, especially for 40 grand, like we had mentioned. That can go dirty really quick.
Yeah.
So props to those two drivers for completely
that's
keeping it
when
clean.
The grandma thing comes into play sometimes, and it didn't. Those guys showed each other a ton of respect there at the end, and just delivered an awesome show. That crowd was great, and they, nobody left early. They were there, and they were able to see, what short track racing is all about, what it can be. We've been really, really fortunate to see some really good racing, I think, as of late, through a variety of different series. And I think that one for me is got to go kind of up to the top of race of the year kind of category for me in terms of races that I've got to watch and got to take in.
Yeah, in Berlin, we mentioned the crowd. They do it was a Wednesday night show. Completely packed. Yeah. How do they do that? That just speaks to what Jeff is doing there, and definitely the show that they put on.
Yeah. I think Mother Nature helped too. That weather was pretty nice, wasn't it?
It was. I did not want to get on the plane to come back.
110 and humid? No.
It was like 75 and sunny. The day, especially the day we left, it was perfect.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there in about 4 months down here.
For a day or two.
If that even. But that wasn't all the action that we had around the country. At Grundy County Speedway, you had the Wayne Carter Classic. Ty Fredrickson got the win in the ASA Midwest Tour. Casey Johnson continuing to lead the point standings there for the ASA Midwest Tour over Gabe Summers. Let's talk a little Cars Tour for a second.
Yeah.
I've said it forever. Forget about, much respect to the county and city officials that work out and taking care of our local roadways. But if you ever need a patch job, just call in the racetrack crew, because, man, the folks at Anderson, they had their hands full this weekend. We've seen it before with, having a patch up Daytona before, having a patch up Martinsville. But the folks there at Anderson, they had to jump into action pretty quickly this weekend to resolve a big issue at the racetrack.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to see. But when it's all said and done, tell me if you've heard this before, but Landon Lewis was really fast and really quick, and he got the win. But I did see the Cars Tour has not officially declared him the winner yet, or the results, because I believe they are still doing a little bit of post-race inspection. I've got to double-check to see if that has changed since I last looked, but I don't believe those results are technically official yet. But a big win for him over Landon Huffman. Connor Hall brought it home in 5th, and some guy named Dale Earnhardt Jr. was there, and he finished 10th. So another top 10 effort out of him. And the Dale Jr. effect was definitely felt there, as they had a great crowd, and he got to drive one of my all-time favorite paint schemes, the Budweiser All-Star car from back in 2001, where I think all of NASCAR was cheering for the 8 car on that night. But great throwback scheme by Dale and his crew once again. And over on the Pro Late Model side, you had Luke Baldwin kind of make up for that disappointment that happened at Hickory in the throwback race a couple of weeks ago. He had a nice win in the Pro Late Model edition. Ben Mayer, brought it home in 4th as he continues his points lead. Points are going to be close. Connor Hall came into that night only with a 4-point advantage, and with Landon Lewis potentially, picking up the win here, you could see that points championship, first and second place, you could see that flip again here. So I'm excited to see the home stretch here of the Cars Tour and what's how that's all going to shape out with some great races still to come.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a busy past week or so, and even tonight we have the ASA tour at Owasso. So definitely
just saw that link green.
Yeah.
Yep.
So definitely
I saw he got the pole.
Who did?
Good job there to the Brett Jones Racing team. Yep, he got the pole earlier, set for quick time. And Owasso, I was watching a modified race there a couple of weeks ago, and that looks like an awesome facility, another track where if I get the chance to swing up through Michigan, I think it's definitely going to be on my list of places to stop in and check out a race.
For sure. It's a beautiful property. The new owners have done a great job. I've never seen so much pavement in my entire life.
Ton of pavement and a lot of grandstands. I was blown a little bit of a different setup where their main grandstand is over on the back stretch, but a huge grandstand in terms of like a local short track. So that definitely seems like the type of venue where if they want to put on a big race and they want to try to pack the place, I got a lot of seats to fill. But it's good to see promoters that are putting the effort in and putting in some a lot of stands. So we'll check out how that race plays out, and we'll get to talk about the results of that race probably coming up on next week's show.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we are going to go to a quick commercial. This echo is going to drive me nuts.
It's messing with you, right?
It does.
Alec got to feel your pain a little bit last week, and now you're back in the hot seat.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break and see if we can fix it and bring Dodge back.
All right, Dodge Carlbert coming up next.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Racecar Engineering is your single source supplier for all your racing equipment. Dirt, asphalt, drag strip, street rod, or off-road. Their experts can keep you on the track and in the lead no matter what type of racing you do. Hundreds of brands, thousands of parts. Find them online at racecareng.com or call them toll free at 800-882-7231 and make sure to ask for your free catalog. That's Racecar Engineering, 800-882-7231.
When the heat's on, chill harder with Just Chillin' cooling products. Stay frosty, keep it cool, keep it fast, Just Chillin'.
Buying or selling a home? It's more than a transaction. It's a strategy. I'm Amy Lynn, and I bring clarity, confidence, and results to your real estate journey. Whether you're searching for the perfect place to call home or preparing to list your home for top dollar, I've got you covered. With smart marketing, strong negotiation, and a network you can trust, I don't just help clients close, I help them win. Let's make your next move the right one.
At Yofon Blacktop, we take pride in paving the way for smoother roads and beautiful driveways. From brand new asphalt to protective seal coating, we handle it all with precision and care. Our team uses top quality materials and proven techniques to make your pavement last for years. And right now, you can save big. Get 15% off any new paving, seal coating, or striping service. Call Yofon Blacktop today, and let's make your pavement perfect.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Race Car Engineering is your single source supplier for all your racing equipment. Dirt, asphalt, drag strip, street rod, or off-road. Their experts can keep you on the track and in the lead no matter what type of racing you do. Hundreds of brands, thousands of parts. Find them online at racecareng.com or call them toll free at 800-882-7231 and make sure to ask for your free catalog. That's Racecar Engineering, 800-882-7231.
When the heat's on, chill harder with Just Chillin' cooling products. Stay frosty, keep it cool, keep it fast, just chillin'.
I'll do it. Yep.
You got it. Welcome back to Let's Talk Short Track Racing. We are back with
Carlbert on the podcast here tonight with us.
What's going on?
Nice to hear from you, Dodge. Busy guy this year. We'll kind of touch base on some of the different things that you have been up to here in 2025. But defending champion of the UARA Sportsman Series and the current points leader in the UARA Sportsman Series. Just kind of talk about what it's been like here these last few years, getting teamed up with Heath and Heather and Bun Racing, and having Jason Boyd come on board with Boyd Tech. You guys have just been the absolute standard and the flag bearer of the UARA Sportsman Series for these last few years, going on and winning 7 races over the last couple of years, and staring down the possibility of another championship this year. Kind of talk about how that relationship has kind of blossomed over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's obviously been great with Jason, coming on board, and this is only our 3rd year with the Sportsman for UARA, like full time. The first year we were still kind of getting our bearings straight. That was the first year with Jason, and yeah, no, we definitely taken off, and Heath and Ashley provide everything we need, and it's been great. It's been cool, and been a long break. I'm about tired of it, I'm being honest with you, but we'll get back after it. It's cool. I think we have like a 19 positions on the track lead, so hopefully in the next few races we can lock up this championship.
Yeah, your last race at Auburndale, while the headline is going to say that Brandon Morris gets the win, and it's going to talk about Tim Stozio getting the win, but with you having 2 runner-up finishes that night and just having a good, clean night, you guys really, really ramped up your points lead coming out of that, coming into the break, and it's got to give you guys a lot of relief knowing that, we've got a little bit of time off, do our homework, check the car over, make sure everything's good to go, and just lock in for these final few races of 2025. You guys have got to be feeling pretty confident in the position that you guys are in coming into the Twin 50s that'll be coming up here in about a little bit more than a month.
Yeah, obviously, anything can happen at the end of the day, especially at Auburndale. But we're pretty confident going into those races. We're always fast there, and honestly, I think as long as no one junks us, I think we'll be okay. But we're pretty confident going into these races. We like Auburndale. As rough as it can be, we still like that track. So,
yeah, and you've had some great runs there, of course, but you have an opportunity coming into this next format, and we've talked on the show before. I've talked to a lot of people how unique of a format it is in that Twin 50. Some drivers love it, some drivers hate it, but for you, you've got an opportunity where coming into that night, if you get out of there with 2 really good finishes, you've set yourself up once again to claim that championship coming into those final couple events there at the Freedom Factory. How important and how much emphasis are you going to put on that first 50, making sure that you keep the car in one piece to be able to score as many points as you possibly can with this Twin 50 format?
We're going to approach it the same way we did before. I think a lot of people, try and sandbag to get their positions for the first feature, which is what some people did last race, and that's cool, whatever. We want poles. That's just not us. So we want to go out there, get the pole, and then try and wherever we start, just kind of manage the first race enough to where the second race we're not having to rebuild a front end or anything. It's just we want to be patient. We do know that. I'm pretty sure if we have a good enough points night, we could technically lock it up for Freedom Factory, just by starting the race, which would be cool. Well, I don't know. Is it 2 Freedom Factory points races or just 1?
I believe it's 2. As far as I know, I believe that final race of the year, while it is an invitational, I do think they are going to they're going to make it a points race. I believe because we lost the Cordeal date. So I'll have to double check with Ricky. I got to do my homework too. I got to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Well, if that isn't the case, then we'd have a chance for us to lock it up. So it's more so just we're going to keep doing what we do and be patient. And as much as people don't think so, we tend to have pretty clean races at Arpendale. So
yeah, we showed it last time out that we can run long. It's you're not going to have a restart and then immediately have a have a stack up. We showed that you can run long distance. We saw that in the UARA national race as well. But you're starting to get into kind of some rare territory here where yes, there's been a driver that has won multiple championships, but no driver has ever won it back to back. And you certainly have the opportunity to do that this year, and also with a chance to go out and chase a couple more checkered flags this year. You've got a chance to climb up the win list on the UARA the Sportsman Tour, to where you could potentially become the all-time leading driver when it comes to wins in the series. And like you said, only just in 2.5, 3 years of competition.
No, that would be cool. We like to see these records. I know Boyd, he loves seeing those records. And so do I. It's definitely cool to not have the most experience. Some of these guys have been in the series for the last 6-7 years, and to only be in it for this short of a time and be close to one of the most winningest drivers is cool. And to just honestly just set it down and be as dominant as we've been is always a really cool experience.
Yeah, for sure. And Dodge, we know that you're just talking about how you've so quickly gotten so many wins in the Sportsman Series. And now this year, kind of transitioning into a little bit more of sprint car racing. What is that like compared to the Sportsman, and also how did you get involved with the sprint cars?
It's different. It makes the Sportsman feel slow for sure. I just kind of a year and a half ago, Jason Reynolds reached out to me and asked if I would ever be interested in driving one, and I said yes. And he told me he had one being built. He was rebuilding his car, and basically everything was brand new on it. So we went. My first race was actually wingless with it, and just kind of got my bearings straight. And then I think we won our 6th race out, which was really cool. And those things are different. They're pretty easy to drive with a wing, but you take that wing off and it's a whole different story.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say the biggest, feeling-wise in the car, what would you say is the biggest difference? More downforce kind of, or?
I think the overall sense of speed. I like New Smyrna. I've raced it with I'm sure everybody has seen the video of your record, which is hilarious. But we were the test before, we tested a few sessions before that, but New Smyrna, I've raced there in a pro truck Sportsman, and even won there in a mod mini, and it's in every car I've ever drove there, it feels like it just takes forever to get down the straightaways. And we went there with the sprint car in the first session, and we're running New Smyrna in 15 seconds. And it's the sense of speed is just insane while you're getting down the straightaway like that. So
yeah, you guys getting behind the wheel of the sprint cars, there's got to be a screw loose somewhere, I swear. But we've got the video going right now from our buddy Will Patterson's page there, and man, I'm just glad you're all right, because I've seen some pretty gnarly wrecks in these wing sprint cars. I remember seeing a video of Shane Butler thinking he was working for NASA that night and launching down the backstretch before. But man, you did a great job kind of minimizing the damage there in that accident there. But what does it do for you going forward now that you've kind of experienced an issue like that, to where, if you can kind of control it before? But I know you guys had talked about it, how it was just kind of like a freak accident, like a part failure. But I mean, what was that like, having experienced that, man? That had to have been an incredible feeling.
Yeah, it was, I hate to say it, but it was kind of cool on my end, at least. I've never really had any really bad accidents. I've always been lucky enough to either avoid them or never have anything bad like that happen. But for something to be completely out of my control, and just to have that pucker factor of like, well, you're wrecking. What can you do to minimize it? That's like the first thing that goes through your head is like, what can you do? And yeah, it was a weird feeling. I mean, it felt like the car went from being into the track to being on top of the track within a split second, and all because the wing slider malfunction. It broke. Something went wrong with it, and it slid the wing forward. And at a track like that, under 15 degree of wing angle, it'll create lift, and it created enough lift to just rip the wing off. And from the driver's standpoint, you can't really see the wing moving at that track. The force is trying to suck the helmet off your head, so you're kind of looking down and forward. So it's just something that was unpreventable, obviously, and it was insane. Everybody thought I was going to be hurt, but I was fine. Hip hurt a little bit for a few days, but other than that, I'm just ready to. We're already almost done getting it fixed, and big shout out to Jason and his son for getting it fixed. And we're ready to go back there in a week and a half. So.
Yeah, let's talk about how not only are you having a great year in the Sportsman, you're leading the Southern Sprint Car Shootout Series point standings, and talking about going against some of the really talented drivers that compete in that series on a regular, and then some of the drivers that will come down from up in the Midwest to compete in some of these races. And I anticipate you're going to see some pretty big names probably coming up there at that New Smyrna race. But then you've got an opportunity to do something that we don't see a whole lot in. Chance of winning two championships in two different touring series in two very different types of race cars, where you would have one of the most interesting resumes and seasons, I think, of any driver nationwide.
It would be cool. Sadly, the only hiccup I'm having is I'm having to sacrifice the BG series for a Sportsman race at Freeman Factory. So I really, I hate to say it, I hope one of the two rains out, preferably the citrus race for the BG that weekend. And if I get really lucky, it's still always a possibility. You never know, race can get canceled or something can get moved around. But yeah, as of right now, it won't happen. We'll end up finishing second by missing one race. But it's definitely cool to be leading the points my first year as a rookie and being the only rookie this year. And going against Colton, who has the most wins nationally, and he's got a few years of sprint car experience under him, and he's been good the last few years. So it's different. It would be cool. It would be a cool resume to have for 1 year. And then the cherry on top would be going to Chili Bowl right at the end of it. So. But we'll see. You never know. Anything could happen. Hopefully, something happens in my with my luck, probably not. But hopefully, something happens in my direction.
I swear you didn't get my notes for this interview because I didn't take any. You said exactly what my next question was going to be. Chili Bowl. That's the mission for this off season.
Yeah. So I will be missing Snowball this year. One, because we sold the modified. And two, because I have a baby on the way, so
congratulations
around that due date. Oh, thank you. We're excited, but with that being said, December is kind of going to be our off season, and then we go right into Chili Bowl 1st of January, which is just going to be, luckily we've got a sponsor. I'm not going to announce it just yet, but we've got a few people hopping on board and giving us a chance to go to Chili Bowl and show hopefully what we got. I mean, we went there with the shootout. We were very competitive, and I do think we're going to go test Millbridge and race Millbridge before Chili Bowl. I do think that we can be competitive.
I
I know that we're going to have a lot of people down here in Florida that are going to be cheering you guys on when you head there to the Expo Center there in Tulsa. Go ahead and just preemptively just start loading up on all the emergency and everything that you possibly can. I hear that chili bowl flu is nothing to mess with.
Yeah, when we went for Tulsa shootout, we watched a lot of people get sick. Luckily, I didn't. But we definitely watched a lot of people get sick as the week went on. But yeah, it's insane. It's an insane atmosphere to be around. I'm excited. I'm ready. I just want to get there, and I'm going to be there every night at the track, even on the nights I'm not going, just to kind of learn and be around that is insane. I want to go party with the rowdies one night, just to have a good time. And we got a bunch of good people going up with us too that are just going to be there for support, help, and everything else.
What are you thinking? Like, I know you guys have got to try to do your homework, but I mean, a huge part of that is selecting, which prelim night, which heat night you guys are looking to run. I know there's a lot of guys that have been doing it for years where they kind of have their night set in stone, where it's like, all right, on Tuesday I'm running, or on Thursday I'm for sure going to do it. Do you think for you being not necessarily a rookie, but this being your first Chili Bowl, do you lean on maybe trying to run earlier in the week, you think, and then kind of letting to see how the rest of the week plays out? Or do you think it's more advantageous for you to try to just be in the car there maybe that Thursday or Friday, right before Saturday when they get ready for the mains?
I think, we talked about it a little bit, but I think running on Monday is always the hardest day for everybody because you really don't know what the track's going to do, because we have that Sunday practice, but that's not a good representation of what the track will do over the daytime. So, and if in a perfect world, if we got to choose, because I don't think we get to choose for our first year, I'm not sure. I would want a Wednesday or Thursday, so that way we have time to fix the car before Saturday if anything happens and go through it, but also have time to be able to watch Monday and Tuesday and kind of learn. Even from the driver perspective, I'm not a dirt racer by any means. I might have been all right on it a few times, but it's not my full-time deal. So I definitely am going to be studying more than anybody else there on what the track's doing, what drivers are doing, and hopefully when we go to Millbridge in November, I'll get a good idea of what I need to be doing as a driver in those cars.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like you've got your season pretty well lined up for the rest of the year, between the rest of the UARA races and a few more sprint car races. Is there anything else up your sleeve? Any other races you're looking to run?
I'll run whatever anybody lets me run, honestly, at this point. But it just depends. You never know. I'm sure rides could pop up here and there. I would like to try and hit a late model race or two towards the end of this year for whoever at this point. I know me and Grant have had a few conversations, and hopefully, I can work something out. But other than that, yeah, just kind of focus on closing up this UARA series, and hopefully closing up the sprint car series too if everything goes my way. But that's going to be tough. Colton's really good, and he's right on my tail with the points. He had one bad night that kind of helped me out get in the lead, and now it's just me and him are definitely the class of the field in that one. Every race, it's like, who gets to the front first.
Yeah, for sure.
You had mentioned selling your modified, and I know that you had been running a little bit of kind of been running around the state, but then also kind of jumping around and doing some racing out of the state with the modified as well. How tough of a decision was that to sell the car? Because I know you and your dad, you've been working hard on that car, and really looked like you guys have really started to kind of get it dialed in with some really good races here recently with it. But if I know you guys, if you're selling the modified, that tends to tell me you guys may have something up your sleeve for next year.
Oh, not for me at least. I think.
I forgot. You're the only. I was gonna say, how about your brother?
Yeah. So I think it helps out my dad more, so he can focus on Bryson. With me having to, when I moved, an hour and a half away, just don't have the time to focus on the modified. And that was our issue before. It's like we would work on it a day before the race and then go race it. We never really had the time with the Sportsman and sprint car and everything else and Legends and whatever else we've got going on. So I think it's helpful for my dad, and obviously that money can go away towards Bryson traveling. And they bought a second Legend car with that money, so that way he can have two cars when they travel and have it set up for each track. And on top of that, they're going to put me in the Legend for some of the bigger races, so I'll get out there and go race with like SVG and them over in Charlotte and stuff like that, just hit or miss. But no plans for any other race cars right now. I mean, I think next year I'll be too busy between the midget, the sprint car, the sportsman, and hopefully some hit or miss late model races that I don't think I'd have time for anything else.
And a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the baby. I know. But she, thank God Lauren is very supportive of everything I do, and she wants me to. I mean, when we were worried about Chili Bowl, I was worried about Chili Bowl. She looked at me, she was like, "You're going." She was like, "There's no way I'm going to hold you at home for probably the biggest race of your career so far." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like the baby." But she, her mom is stepping up big time and helping us out, and is going to stay with her while I'm gone for race weekends. And once the baby's old enough, it's coming to the track. I mean, it's going to be a track baby just like I was.
Sweet.
You got a good one there, buddy. Hang on.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's full support.
Well, awesome. I mean, you've been having an awesome year, man, and it's Aaron and I were talking a little bit before we went on air tonight. I feel like I've literally watched you grow up from as a racer, and to see where you're at is awesome, and you're having an incredible year, and you got some big ones coming up here, and an opportunity to close out your year and add another championship to your already impressive resume. And we talked about it earlier, chance to make some history here in these final few months of the year. It's going to be a busy one, but you're certainly going to be somebody to keep an eye on. And I know a lot of the people that are tuning in, whether they're at the track or tuning in with some of the races and the streams, they're looking to see how you're going to do here.
Oh yeah, I know we got a lot of eyes on us, and I know we got a lot of people hoping we don't finish and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're going to keep moving forward with it, and hopefully close out the year. Honestly, with a few more wins would be nice. I don't know how close I'm going to do that all-time win list, but I think it's
right there,
within reach.
Yeah, you're right there.
For sure. That would be really cool to close it out with. I want to win the last two Freedom Factory races. Arvindale is kind of like, if I finish top 5, I'll be happy, but I want to win both the Freedom Factory races. We've been so good there to not have good cars.
Yeah.
Well, you'll certainly have an opportunity to do that, and if you were to close out those final two races, that's all you would need, man.
For sure.
Yep.
All right. Well,
sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say, you can't come on here. You got to give a shout out to Heath and Heather.
Oh yeah, Heath and Ashley. Heath and Ashley,
good one. Sorry.
Huge shout out. I said it once, I'll say it a million more times. Heath and Ashley, gave me an opportunity, in the sportsman car and with their pure stock. And huge shout out to them. Jason Boyd, my dad, my mom, my stepmom, Bryson, always coming to the track and, being a good little brother and supporting. And, and shout out to the sprint car team too. Shay, Montgomery, Jason, Brady, all those guys, they work their butt off every week to get that sprint car dialed. And a huge shout out to Davey Hamilton's team. Morgan sold us a wing this week, a used wing that was basically brand new for a good price to get us back on the track at New Smyrna. So thanks to them and Todd for coming and checking out the motor for us after the wreck and making sure we were all good.
Yeah, a lot of people to thank. A lot of people always helping you get to the track and stay so active within racing.
Oh yeah, always a lot of people. I mean, we just have so many people that come and help, and we don't have full-time helpers like a lot of these teams. Like always have the same people. We're kind of, I don't think I've had the same spotter but once this year. So we're always just at bringing people with us, and we appreciate all the help from everybody.
For sure. Well, Dodge, thank you so much for coming on tonight, and good luck throughout the rest of the season. Hopefully, you can get a few more of those wins and clinch for sure the Sportsman Championship.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'll have a great night. You guys be safe.
Thank you. You
All right,
too.
brother. We'll talk to you soon. Yep, we'll see you
See you,
soon.
Jake.
See you,
See you,
buddy.
buddy.
All right, and we
All
will
right.
be back just after these few messages, and we've got our in-house sprint car driver, Brian Gingras, coming to join us to talk a little bit about his wing experience and a little bit about that accident we saw.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimal performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane.
His experience,
Winning
I'm not sure
never
if he's
looked
ever had a
so
wing come
good.
off or not,
Faster,
but kind of
lighter,
his experience
stronger, better.
with the wings.
5-star.
Okay.
Tech
Do you need me to stay on the
is your
phone?
single
Do
source
I need to stay
supplier
on,
for
do I need
all
to
your
stay on the
racing
phone,
equipment.
or
Dirt,
am I good to go
asphalt,
back to
drag
where
strip,
we were?
street rod,
Do you
or
want him on the
off-road.
phone or
Their
go back
experts
to
can keep
other
you
audio?
on the track and in the lead no matter what type of racing you do. Hundreds of brands, thousands
He
of
says
parts.
phone is fine.
Find them online at racecareng.com
And
or call
we
them
mostly
toll free
want
at
to talk. It's tech talk, so yeah, just talking about the
800-882-7231
wing
and
and
make
stuff.
sure to ask for your free catalog. That's
Sounds good.
Race Car Engineering, 800-882-7231.
Test. Can you hear me? All right. And then you'll just make sure you talk into there. If you want to hold it, I'm sure you can if it reaches. Or he just needs to make sure. How far does he have? Can he be from?
Gotta
Okay.
eat it.
When the heat's on,
Just eat
chill
it.
harder
Oh yeah, I
with
got you.
Just Chillin' cooling products.
All right, I got you. Jake, he's really good. He's, for sure. If we stutter or anything, my stutter has gotten better.
Stay frosty, keep it cool, keep it fast, just chillin'.
Until next week.
Buying or selling a home? It's more than a transaction, it's a strategy. I'm Amy Lynn, and I bring clarity, confidence, and results
Do you
to your
remember
real
what Dodge
estate
said with
journey.
the part
Whether
failure
you're
was?
searching for the perfect
Yeah,
place to
he
call
had, like,
home
the-
or
like, one of
preparing
the
to list your home
mount,
for
like,
top
up front,
dollar,
that it just,
I've
like,
got you
slid out of
covered.
position,
With smart
basically,
marketing,
just malfunctioned.
strong negotiation, and a network you
slid
can
forward.
trust,
Like, I think
I
they-
don't just
I forget
help
what he
clients
said, what
close,
degree they
I
had it
help
at, but
them
he said
win.
it basically, like,
Let's make
slid
your next
forward while they were
move
on
the
track
right
and
one.
blew off.
Which is usually odd because usually they'll push it back.
Yeah.
At Yofon
No, it seemed
Blacktop,
like
we
there's
take
like
pride
it,
in
it
paving
seemed
the
like
way
the
for
angle, if you
smoother
look at it, it
roads
kind of
and
like
beautiful
almost like
driveways.
pushed a little bit more
From brand new
forward and
asphalt to
flattened it
protective
out.
seal coating, we handle it all
Yeah.
with precision and care.
Yep.
Our team uses top quality materials
As soon as
and
that
proven
happens,
techniques
game
to
over.
make your pavement last for years.
I say, why to get so
And
sunny
right
in here all
now,
of a
you can
sudden?
save big.
Well, what happened?
Get 15% off any new
gliding
paving, seal coating, or striping service. Call Yofon Blacktop today, and let's make your pavement perfect.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Short Track Racing. We are here for Tech Talk with Brian Gingras. Welcome. He is our in-house sprint car driver.
Glad to be back.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about, we saw, and were you able to see the video of Michael's wreck?
I did.
Or not Michael, where am I?
Dodge.
Dodge. I don't
We're
know
messing
where we're
everybody
going there.
down tonight.
But you were able to see Dodge's. So what did you see as someone who's typically driving a sprint car with a wing?
Yeah, I've
5-star body.
and it's hard to really. It didn't really make sense anything that I saw there compared to how these wings usually work. What I did see is the wings slide forward, and then with the front, the wing was higher, and it looked like the air got under it and lifted it out and somehow parted, ripped out on the internal, something inside of there broke, or the posts, gave way, in the front and let air get underneath it and then pulled it out. Usually, but I had one actually implode
Oh.
on me one time, a different situation at Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe air got inside of it, pressurized it, and it actually blew up. It stayed on the car,
That's interesting. Yeah.
but it blew up, and we assumed it didn't have sealant. A lot of times on all our wings that we run, we put sealant on it so air can't get inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
and pressurize it, and blow them up. We've had a couple of them, imploded, at New Smyrna.
Yeah.
I know Dave Steele did certain type wing he had too. He lost, a couple of them, and I know the Greens did also.
And what's that feeling like, that initial, as soon as that there's something going on wrong with that wing? What is your initial reaction? What's the initial feeling from inside the car?
Usually you lose all downforce, and then you're so dependent on downforce because literally on those half miles, you're anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 pounds pushing down on the car, so you're in the track, you're stuck inside the track, and as soon as that you lose all that downforce, then the car gets loose.
Yeah.
It wants to get sideways, and you got to chase it. But usually, wing sprint car drivers, can pretty much handle anything with one because you got to work quick with them, and you can get it back under control. That turns into a non-wing car. At that point, with Dodge, it looked like it lost all the grip.
Yeah, as soon as it happened.
What he said and what explanations are that he said on it, but I assume he just lost all the grip and then lost it.
Yeah, did his best to save it.
Did
and
what he could do, but ended up in the wall.
Yeah,
luckily, I didn't, in my situation, saved it, close to the wall, but didn't actually get into it.
And I'm sure it's hard to kind of save them when you're moving it because, as you're saying, they are quick.
Right.
So,
did he say he was adjusting it at all?
I did not hear that. Jake, did you hear if he was talking about adjusting it any while it was happening?
I don't think they made any kind of adjustment or anything, but I just think he said they kind of noticed that it had kind of shifted, and to your point, Brian, you typically don't see it shift in that direction, which is what kind of made it kind of interesting there. But like my take on it too is like, it's one thing when if you're racing one of these wing sprint cars around a quarter-mile track, whether you're there at Auburndale, whether you're at Citrus, or maybe even over at Showtime, but being on one of these bigger, faster tracks like a New Smyrna, like you had mentioned Pensacola, I mean, just how much do you factor in the speed that you're carrying in one of those cars? I mean, you guys at the end of the straightaways, how fast are you guys going in one of those cars when you've got that optimum downforce, and how quickly are things going to change there as the driver is you have to be able to react so quickly there at the fastest point of the track.
Yeah, that's with a wing car. You're constantly wheeling it. You're soaring it back and forth because they have so much power and you're trying to control wheel spin, and you're doing that with throttle and getting sideways. And the other thing on the big tracks, what people don't realize, you got so much load, like I said, about 3,000 pounds, pushing that car down. So it's like flying a plane, at that point, and you're relying on aero, different than a non-wing car that doesn't have a wing. You're relying on transferred weight. This is aero weight, just smashing the car down, and you can go really, really, fast. But going in the corner, when you're out front, it's such an advantage in those cars because you have all the air on your wing. When you get in traffic at New Smyrna, any half miles on that, you can't. When you cross over somebody, or if you go from the inside and cross to the outside coming off the corner, the car just gets a major push because it loses all the aero on the front end of the car, and the whole car like hops. All the front goes straight to the wall until you pick the air back up again, then you can turn it. So you're constantly, when you go in, you don't want to follow somebody, in a corner. It's either inside them or outside of them, splitting them, and you lose a lot of downforce, and you can either push or get sideways. So you're constantly, of course, either pushing or sideways, and you're constantly, on the wheel back and forth. And then when you lose all of that, that's when the problems happen. When you're along for the ride.
Yeah, I think that's something also talking about how much of a driver's car really it is. That's something I think you don't really realize talking. I know mostly about late models. So it's interesting they all follow each other, but it's a completely different tactic with the wing and being in a sprint car too.
Yeah, they're completely, and like I said, we run both wing and non-wing. The wings are a lot faster, and two different driving styles also. One's finesse, you got all the power with non-wing, and you're concentrating on wheel spin. You're just playing with the throttle because they got way too much power, and you can't hook them up. And then you got the wing guys that are just, it's to the floor, and you're going corner, turn on the power, and like a Pensacola, I had a track record there, for years. And I want to say it was 12 seconds, 12 something. It was like average like 150. And then going in the corner, it was wide open. I never lifted for 2 laps.
Wow.
You push the wing forward because on those, you got wing sliders on there. The top wing, they have a hydraulic ram that pushes the wing forward or back. So you can, it's adjustment you make on the car as you burn fuel off too. You can start off in the front and to the back. And then when you do qualifying, when you're not going to lift, it's a leap of faith, hoping it's going to get enough downforce. Because if you hold it down for a second longer than somebody else going in that corner, then you might pick up 300 pounds more downforce and it will stick. Where the lap before it pushed because it didn't have enough downforce. So when you do qualifying, put the wing all the way forward, so at least you got the thing to turn. You're not going to push into the wall, and then you can start gradually pulling it back. But that one lap that I did when I set the track record, it was 2 laps and I didn't lift at all. Going in 3 and 4 was a lot tighter at Pensacola. It was pretty hairy doing that down the whole back straightaway. It's just dancing, getting it back because it turns so hard in the front. But on that, to get back to, we can adjust those back and forth, so we can adjust it. We need to put more weight on the front, and there's an aero grip, which is pushing, aero load is pushing down on the front end, opposed to losing some in the rear, and you can fine tune that. A good driver can get the car, dialed in. If you miss it on stagger or setup, you can usually, you've got another adjustment there that you can play with, and as you burn fuel off, you can, bring it back. And on the, going back to Dodge's incident there, there's a way on the top wings where they have posts. They have an internal slider and an external slider. They have like a rail system. But on the internal slider, on the front, you got 2 posts that go into like a T-notch, and there's a runner under the wing. And on that, if those posts in the front aren't locked down, that can fly up, and then you're in trouble at that point. But there's so many different styles, of wings and how to attach them that it's hard to say. I know Jason prepares a good car. He's got a Dodge driving now, and without seeing it, one flaw that I did see on that was the rear wing tree. There's no cross bracing in it. So there's a possibility that the side load, when it went in the corner, pushed that over and could have messed up that ram that pushes it, hydraulic ram that runs off the power steering.
Okay.
And another possibility I was thinking of, if you had it plumbed wrong, as soon as he fired that car off, if he had the pressure line going where the suction line is, as soon as he fired that up, the power steering kicked in, it could have shoved that thing all the way forward and it messed up the mounts in the front and caused that, to come off. But it's hard telling without seeing it what exactly. I think something probably failed on his point.
Yeah, and also knowing how far into practice it was. I don't think
How far was it? Was it the beginning or was it
I do not know. Do you know?
I didn't see how far into the session they had got, but I'm just again, wing sprint car guys. You guys are nuts. I swear. Like you guys have got a screw loose to be able to do what you guys do. But how about let's talk another part of it too, just the safety aspect of it. When something like that happens, it's how important having all your safety equipment to be able to. Dodge said he had a little bit of soreness in his hip area, but I mean, an impact like that at a high rate of speed. You got to know that Jason and his crew, they've got to feel pretty good and pretty confident that they know they built a safe car, and Dodge has definitely got the right kind of safety equipment there to handle an impact like that.
Yeah, as far as impact, they are pretty safe. I know if you look at one, people that come from stock cars get to that. It's the
They're
opposite.
so open.
It's all the stuff, all the no-nos, all the stuff that you shouldn't do. That's how the sprint car is set up. All the fuel lines, running through, and pressure lines, so you got fuel running into the cockpit and everything. But they are pretty safe now with the seats that we have, full containment seat. And have the main thing in sprint car too is a lot of times you get that steering gear that's right in front of you. You want to have your seat built in that holds you in the car, because you can't hold yourself in one of these. It's trying to throw you out the other side, just like any other car. But having that so your knees don't hit the steering. So the way I have the seat, you want a seat that's built just for you, that wraps around your legs, so that's your. Whenever I go into another car, I drive a lot of different cars. I always have my seat because it fits me. So I bolt the seat in, it fits me just right. It keeps me out from hitting everything in. Yep, on those, the ribs, breaking ribs, when you hit the wall on with them, broken many ribs, getting into the wall, but they're pretty safe.
I don't know if this is a dumb question or not, but I always hear the term sometimes where like, a 20-cent part cost me the win tonight, or cost me this. A part like that fails on Dodge's car. What does a part like that run typically? Up in one of those mounts up in the front there.
Yeah, they're probably like $25 a piece. It's not an expensive part, on that. If that is what failed. Yeah, you're right about that. We were years back. Quick story on that one, the Florida 400. We were leading that race, and the guy I was driving for, he had, we had the fastest car there by far. Put it on pole, leading, first 150 laps until right front broke. DeSoto going in the three, and I just watched the wheel bounce and pushed the wheel the whole time and just stuffed it in the fence. Destroyed the car. And what happened was the wheel center of the wheel, broke. And he bought it used, and no telling where it came from. So now I'm always checking them, and you want new wheels on the car. That just destroyed the whole car. A $250 wheel, destroyed the whole car.
Yeah.
And my ribs.
Yeah. Not a good way to end a race. But thank you so much for coming on tonight and coming in tonight too, to go over more about the wings and everything on the sprint cars.
No problem.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And when can we see you back on track? Tell us a little bit to wrap up a little bit about the rest of your season.
Yeah, we're working on it, with the house car.
Yes.
In here now. It's getting pretty close. And we'll be firing that up here, shortly. So
it's looking sharp.
Within a month or so, I would say we'd be ready to get it back on track, and we'll see where we go from there.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in tonight and talking to us about the wings and everything. Thank you, Brian.
No problem.
All right, and we will, I think, are we wrapping up for the night? All right, so that is it for Let's Talk Short Track Racing this week. We will be back next week.
Five-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Race Car Engineering is your single source supplier for all your racing equipment. Dirt, asphalt, drag strip, street rod, or off-road. Their experts can keep you on the track and in the lead no matter what type of racing you do. Hundreds of brands, thousands of parts. Find them online at racecareng.com or call them toll free at 800-882-7231 and make sure to ask for your free catalog. That's Race Car Engineering, 800-882-7231.
When the heat's on, chill harder with Just Chillin' cooling products. Stay frosty, keep it cool, keep it fast, just chillin'.
Buying or selling a home? It's more than a transaction, it's a strategy. I'm Amy Lynn, and I bring clarity, confidence, and results to your real estate journey. Whether you're searching for the perfect place to call home or preparing to list your home for top dollar, I've got you covered. With smart marketing, strong negotiation, and a network you can trust, I don't just help clients close, I help them win. Let's make your next move the right one.
At YoFun Blacktop, we take pride in paving the way for smoother roads and beautiful driveways. From brand new asphalt to protective seal coating, we handle it all with precision and care. Our team uses top quality materials and proven techniques to make your pavement last for years. And right now, you can save big. Get 15% off any new paving, seal coating, or striping service. Call Yofan Blacktop today, and let's make your pavement perfect.